You liking that, eh?
Yeah.
You like that intro? That's wicked.
It's groovy.
All right, you're probably wondering who this lady is. Got on the show with me today. This would be Rebecca O'Rourke.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, yeah. You were brought to me by a good friend Deb, who was on an episode before, singing her heart out.
Yeah, she's a great girl.
It is. She is. And then the funniest thing is, I actually know you.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, though, you were much shorter.
Much younger.
You weren't as fit, if I can say that.
That's fair enough.
I remember the rosy cheeks.
Aww.
You always had rosy cheeks.
Yeah, my hair was a lot darker.
And it was long and straight.
Yeah.
Right.
And black.
This mic. Anyone want to buy a boom stand? Does your mom still ride that bike?
She's a Harley rider, yeah.
Last time I saw her was actually filling up her gas tank.
Oh.
She was a riot.
That's a gentleman thing to do.
Also was working at the gas station.
Oh, fair enough.
But in typical fashion, she started singing Super Duper because she was getting the super gas and bouncing on her bike. What a riot.
Yeah, she's a riot for sure.
Yeah. A lot has happened since I saw Rebecca, the young little rosy cheek, black haired.
Yeah.
And you're saying people always bug you about your hair, but that's all natural.
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones that I get to have natural silver hair at a time that it's actually in style.
Apparently I'd have it too if I had hair.
Well, you could rock it.
Yeah, like a lot of girls are looking for that hairdo, and
I'm one of the lucky ones.
You're
what
lucky
can I
for
say?
sure.
Yep. I had someone make fun of me the other day. I thought it was bottle dyed, and I had to put his foot in his mouth.
right?
I said, I got it from my dad, not the store.
And he probably didn't charge you nearly as much.
No.
So you came to me with an interesting topic. We're going to get to it. But basically, we're going to get to the whole world of hypnotism. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool because I've always lived with this one phobia that I'm dying to overcome. And I've yet to tell you what it is.
I've been sitting in suspense.
Have you? It is kind of funny because I don't know if you've seen the videos. I have jumped out of a plane with a static line 10 times.
Wow.
I play goalie. So
I knew that.
Shoot pucks at my head. Yes, because your daughter's a goalie.
She is a fantastic goalie.
Yeah, congratulations to her. Let's just let everybody know she's going to be playing for the
Oshawa Generals, all girls. Yeah,
the all girls. That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Wow,
I'm a proud mom.
You should be, and being a goaltender's mom's not easy.
No, it's not easy to watch.
Nope.
But she handles it all very well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like to snowboard. So I'll go flying down a mountain on a piece of plywood for the best part.
Strapped in 2 feet, yep.
But there's one phobia that just paralyzes me. So we'll get to that in a bit. But
more suspense.
Yeah. Now you're saying it was a bit of a rough road to get to where you are today, right?
Yes. The last 3 years has been quite the journey for me of my own health and recovery. I worked for the school board for 10 years. I had to leave my job due to medical issues. So I went through the Western medicine, and that almost killed me.
Okay, you've said that many times in our pre-interviews. What do you mean by Western medicine?
Oh, Western medicine is in big pharma, pharmaceutical medicine.
Right.
The neurologists, I saw 3 different neurologists that all prescribe me a medicine that actually causes brain damage at a faster rate than anything in this world.
Okay, so we're speaking about head trauma.
Yes.
This was your injury that occurred.
Yeah.
Did you want to explain? Don't get into details, but
a motor vehicle accident.
Okay.
And vagus nerve damage. So I had to teach myself how to actually take my brain out of fight and flight mode, because your vagus nerve and your brain regulates that for you. So it helps you know when you need to be in fight and flight for your protection, and when it's okay for rest and relax. And that kind of went a little a farce for me. So, I had to really work hard at teaching myself how to regulate fight and flight and rest and relax.
Now, is that where a lot of anxieties come from? When people say I have an anxiety disorder or I suffer from anxiety?
Well, I'm not a medical professional,
Right.
but I do know that fight and flight is definitely something that your body naturally prepares you to fight.
Right.
So just as though you were going to, say, come in contact with a tiger, right? And you're just going to start, really, your adrenaline's going to start pumping, and you're going to get ready to pounce or run or do whatever you have to do. And
Right.
so that adrenaline and that always ready to fight or always ready to run really takes a lot out of your body. You need to be able to rest and relax in order to repair yourself. So I was I wasn't able to repair myself always in that fight and flight mode.
And this is because of the Western medicine.
This is because of the vagus nerve damage.
The vagus nerve.
Yeah. The Western medicine.
Why is it called the vagus nerve? Is that a bit of a pun?
Well, because I lost Vegas. I don't know.
It's in Vegas, you're either fighting or flighting, right?
No. The vagus nerve is basically like a little like gland almost inside of your brain. And when I had my accident, because 10 years ago, they didn't know that concussions could happen due to anything other than blunt force trauma. Now doctors know that you can receive concussions due to whiplash.
Right.
So quite frequently, you get into a motor vehicle accident and you have a severe case of whiplash. A lot of times that will create a vagus nerve problem. And
that's because that's the brain inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Rattling around,
Yeah,
right?
so kind of like a shaken baby syndrome almost. And we all know that can be fatal as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's what you suffered. What kind of, was it like a T-bone or rear ending?
Um,
Head on?
Well, I was working for UPS at the time. So I was driving a UPS truck empty down the 401 in the worst snowstorm of the year.
Wow.
And I don't know how well you know the 401, but there's a big corner there on Morningside Drive on the
Yep.
401. So
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, about 2 o'clock in the morning. And like I said, really bad snowstorm. I went around that bend and just
East or westbound?
I was going towards Toronto, so that would be
Westbound,
westbound.
yeah.
Yep. And I was on my way to pick up the airmail, and
Right.
so
So it was the beginning of your shift?
yeah, it was called the Sunrise Run.
Right.
So it was basically you are driving at sunrise.
Right.
And because of the weather, it was a brutal drive, and it was. This was back when UPS just got those Mercedes. So these brand new Mercedes trucks have a really long distance from the stairwell to the back of the truck. So you can just imagine, as soon as I started swaying a little bit, the rear end started going, and then it spun, and I went front end off of one guardrail and bounced across 4 lanes of traffic, and the back of the truck went off the concrete on the back. And it was so scary because I'm sitting on the side of the highway, and a transport comes around the corner, and again, the roads are really bad, and I see smoke coming out, and I'm thinking my vehicle's gonna blow up. And it was smoke from the airbags, but I see this transport coming, and I jumped out of the vehicle and like climbed up the snowbank, thinking that the transport was gonna smoke the UPS vehicle, and it missed me, thankfully. But it was all very scary.
You had me there for a little bit of suspense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a life-changing moment for me, really.
I bet.
So, yeah.
So that was your head injury.
That was my head injury. And,
Okay.
I recovered minimally from that. As a mom and a full-time was working for the school board. I've been working for the school board for the last 10 years.
Right.
So it's been a bit of a rough road. I wasn't taking care of myself, and I think that was the biggest problem that I ran into is I had this injury, but I wasn't paying any attention to it. And it just progressively got worse.
Okay, so what brings you from the Western medicine to what you called the Eastern?
Yes.
Nice. Not very, not very creative. But.
Well, I think that most people will know what we're talking about when we talk about Eastern and Western medicine. Eastern medicine is more of a holistic approach.
It's like with all the needles they puncture you with?
That's acupuncture.
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the modalities. There's many different healing modalities in Eastern medicine.
Right.
But I know that, so after seeing all these neurologists that were prescribing me medications that were hurting me and ruining my life and turning me into something that was having a hard time getting out of bed, I went to my doctor and I said, I can't do this. I can't take this medication. It's just not working. And he introduced me to a new team of doctors. And like I said, they focus more on a holistic approach. So I got introduced to the Headache and Migraine and Concussion Center in the city. And basically, he taught me how nutrition correlates with our health. He taught me how our mind and how we think correlates with our health. Mm-hmm. He also told me, because, my a lot of my issues are pain related. I was suffering from chronic severe migraines. So if anybody's ever had a migraine, you could just imagine living your life like that every hour of every day. So that's kind of what forced me to have to leave my job. I became unreliable.
Now, was that those migraines? Was that light triggered?
The migraines they're triggered by many things.
Okay.
So
well, I know one individual, and their migraines are light triggered, so they literally lay in their bed or basement for days, hiding. Mm-hmm. And they're saying if they can get 45 minutes of pain free, it's just bliss. It's like I couldn't imagine that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a sensory overload
Right.
for most people, and different people have more. So some people might have a visual sensory that's a lot stronger than, say, their smell. But really, your senses are all linked to your brain, right? And so for me, I know that I have to monitor everything that I take in sensory. So if I start taking in too much artificial lighting, too much, like bad cologne, different things will really, and then the weather and different things that I don't have any control over as well. They all play a part on how I feel as well.
So you're kind of good at predicting the weather.
I am a human barometer. Yeah. Yes.
You should get in the concrete industry.
Well, I'm not going to get into the weather foretelling industry because I'll get it right every day.
Oh, yeah, they don't like to get it right. There's no money in getting the weather right. So what? You went to your doctor, said, I can't do this anymore. And I don't think your doctor said, well, here, go try some hippy dippy stuff.
Well, no, it wasn't called hippy dippy, but
No.
he did
That's
give
what
me,
I call it.
He did give me a huge list of different vitamins, minerals, things that he wanted me to eat.
Oh, really? So your doctor you didn't seek it out. He first started this?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes. How I recovered was basically using nutrition, meditation, and I get around 30 to 50 Botox injections in my head and down the back of my neck every 3 months. So that actually acts as a nerve
That's why you look
blocker.
so fantastic.
Well, I wish I could say that, but they don't put it in my face.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's actually just mostly in my hair and down the back of my neck and some in the back of my shoulders where, the nerve pain becomes real bad. And it can stop the pain before it actually reaches into a migraine state.
Wild.
Yeah. One of the biggest challenges I find with that, however, is that the nerve blockers have a muscle relaxant that shuts down your muscles. So
Right.
basically, after my treatments, I have to take a bit of time off, so because I can't really move those muscles very well, and until they recover, and then I'm great for another 3 months.
Okay, so you're still doing that every 3 months. You're getting Botox.
Yes, I it really helps. Yeah, there's a stigma, that a lot of women have used that for beautician reasons. But I can tell you, even in my past working with children that are in wheelchairs, they get Botox injection in their hips and knees to help with maybe some of the pain that because they can't walk. They're stuck in their wheelchair, but
Right.
they still have some feeling, and that can create pain sitting in the same place all the time. So I do that is something that
Yeah. If I sit on the airplane for more than 4 or 5 hours, I start to lose it. My knees cramp up, and
Yeah.
just thinking of it now, I'm going to stretch them.
Well, there's some productive ways to use Botox.
All right.
Yeah.
So from Botox injections, how did you get to hypnotism?
Okay, so I guess it started out, my pain doctor taught me that meditation releases more endorphins than anything in the world. And endorphins are really great to help fight against pain. Okay, so that state of meditation releases endorphins. And so he put me on a machine in his office that was designed to help me reach a state of meditation within 5 minutes. And I'd never meditated in my life up until this point.
Right.
So I was a little skeptical, and I went on this light and sound machine, and it had flashing lights in my eyes and tones in my ears, and it was really a wonderful, relaxing, calming experience. And I was only in there for 15 minutes, and I felt like a new person coming out. So I was like, wow, this is really great. So I took his advice, and I went home, and I found a teacher to teach me how to meditate. And I went and in Bob Cajun, I have a meditation teacher in Bob Cajun, and she taught me over 6 weeks how to really, truly learn how to meditate so that I can help myself deal with pain. So meditation, I guess, was the start of understanding the different zones that you can have your mind in your brain and how that can help you. So meditation kind of brought me into a whole new world of natural medicine. And again, hypnosis, I got into mostly because I was talking to my doctor and wanted to learn how to quit smoking. So she was like, okay, quit smoking. The smoking was adding to my pain, obviously.
Right.
At this point, I had made huge gains and sugar out of my diet. And like I was eating no sugar at this point. I don't drink alcohol. I was being really good, but I'm smoking cigarettes. Like, what is going on here?
Right.
I have this really healthy lifestyle and I'm still smoking cigarettes. So my natural path said, go try a hypnotist. So I did, and she was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So the way that I like to learn is I always go online first, and I pick something online and I learn the fundamentals before I decide to pursue it, right? Is this really what I want?
Right.
Because you can learn a lot cheaper online, let's be real, right? And so I learned it online, and then I absolutely fell in love with hypnosis. So it helped me personally, and then so I wanted to learn how to do it for myself. I could teach myself. I was able to correlate, how to get myself into that trance state. And then as I was getting myself into that trance state to help myself quit smoking, I realized how much it was helping me with my pain.
So you hypnotize yourself.
I do, yes.
So you sit there and hold the watch like this in front of yourself.
Well, that's a misconception.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing to hold in front of you. No. Self-hypnosis is basically just getting yourself into a really relaxing, peaceful state of mind. and just sort of turning off that fight or flight, like we were talking about before. I had to learn how to turn that off. So with hypnosis and meditation, it was able for me to turn off that fight and flight, get myself into that rest and relax mode, and let my body start to repair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, hypnosis and hypnotherapy are two different things. Right? I found this the hard way. So the phobia I spoke of earlier, I went to go get this dealt with, and I thought I was going to a hypnotist. It was a hypnotherapist.
Right.
And at one point, I'm sitting there, I open my eyes, I look at her, she goes, no, keep your eyes closed. I'm looking at her like, what? This isn't even close to working. I have no idea. And she only charged me $35. So I was like, yeah. That was not a hypnotist.
Oh, no.
It was, she was talking about I was supposed to go through some mind journey that was just ridiculous.
Well, I think that lots of people have had some preconceived notions or some first experiences that maybe didn't go so well for them. But you're right. Hypnotists and hypnotherapy. So let's say stage hypnosis is different than hypnosis. So
right. And these are the people like you go to the bar and they get people doing lewd acts to
right. It's an entertainment thing.
Right.
Right.
But that is still hypnotism?
It is still hypnotism.
Right.
It's based on the same principles of how to put somebody in trance. However, I want to help people.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily in it for the entertainment purposes. There's another component that goes with hypnosis that, as you call hypnotherapists use,
right.
and that's called neuro-linguistics programming. So
yeah, okay.
Neuro is as in how the brain works.
I swear she needed it more than I did.
That's possible. I had to tell you, though, in my program, my teacher doesn't graduate people unless they've done their personal self-work. So
nice.
I went kind of a little further than I needed to in order to take the program that I decided to take.
How long does a program like this take?
Well, you have to do so many clinical hours, and you have to
Right.
do so many classroom hours, and then you have to do case studies. And so this has been going on for quite a while.
So if your kids aren't doing what they are supposed to, do you hypnotize them? Like
I
take out the
wish.
garbage?
No, but I have to tell you, sports performance is
Right.
something that is hypnosis is used.
I saw that on your website. Mm-hmm. It's like,
So-
because I'm also a bad golfer.
Yes, and I'm going to definitely be helping with some golf enhancement programs. But I was
You might make me a believer.
Well,
If
I'm
you
going to
if
make you a
could
believer.
Shed some strokes off my game. That'd be a phenomenal.
Well, we can talk about that real soon.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I have a program that we can talk about soon.
Okay.
But I was going to tell you, though, with my
Yes.
children, my daughter, she, like we were talking about, she's a fantastic goalie. So,
Now it all comes full circle.
right. So I can tell you that, she knows, and I'm not going to take credit for her at all because she's done all the work herself. But
Right.
I can tell you that she knows how to play from the zone. She
Right.
knows how to put herself in that state of mind that can block out everything around her
Right.
and just solely focus and just have that exact amount of what she needs to be in there, but still calm enough to be ready to respond.
Actually, here's a neat one. Talk about hypnosis and goalies. So the greatest goalie ever was Ladislav Tricek, who played for the Russian hockey team,
Okay.
part of the 72 series. He was accused of using hypnosis on players
Okay.
because when they'd come down to shoot at him, he would be looking at their eyes. And they thought he was trying to hypnotize them because they would just freak out and shoot, apparently. It's in his book. But what he would later on to say was, no, I watched their eyes at first because that kind of dictates what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
But they actually accused him of using hypnosis on them.
That's not even possible.
Hey,
I'm going to look at you and hypnotize you.
That's
That's
right.
not possible.
that's the 70s, though, right?
Yeah. Well, again, like you said, there's a lot of preconceived notions, partly because of stage hypnosis
Right.
and some movies.
Hey, like the A-Team.
Yeah.
Right? The only way they could get
Mr.
B.A.
T.
Baracus. The word was eclipse, and he would just pass out, and they'd drag him on.
Yeah, and we can do that. It's actually true. We can, if that was something
Oh,
that
wow.
you wanted to do, because Mr. T wanted that. But
No, he didn't.
Well,
Because he'd always wake up like, hey, you put me on a plane again, did you, fool?
yeah, and he'd just go.
Yeah.
But no, if that was something that the client wanted, we could definitely do that, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, but we only do what
So
the
you
client
could
wants
do-
us to do.
So you could do like the entertainment version of hypnosis if you so chose.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping to do that one day. I know that it's something that we could do as a fundraiser, so I'd like to
yeah?
do that for a good charity one day. I know.
I think we should do that.
Well, if you can find a really great charity,
I don't know about the charity, but I think we'll go down to the Hooters. We'll get all the Hooters girls lined up. We'll hypnotize them. They'll never look at me again the same way.
yeah, that's not going to be my claim to fame. Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe you can go back to the $35 hypnotist.
We did have actually, we did have an entertainment hypnotist come to our school once.
Okay, how did that go?
We were skeptical because it seemed like all the participants on stage were part of the drama club. Or had something to do in the arts. We're like, yeah, this is a sham.
Well, you have to understand human growth and development and how
Right.
teenagers don't like to be put on the spot necessarily. So maybe that had something to do with
Like,
that.
I wasn't sure. I'm watching it. Like, this is really happening. And because I remember he was told, you're going to try to put on your coat and you're not going to be able to. And his face started going like flush red. Like he was embarrassed because everybody's laughing at him. And he was looking at the crowd and he was getting really ticked off. He couldn't put his coat on. And then suddenly he put his coat on. He walked off. I was like, and he told me he remembered it.
Oh yeah, you know exactly what's going on, unless there has been times where a hypnotist on stage
Right.
has told them that to forget. And,
Really?
yes, I did talk to somebody once before that had that experience, and they don't remember anything that they did on stage.
Now through hypnosis, can you allow them to remember it again?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we can go through your subconscious and basically pull out just about any memory that you've ever had.
Yeah, because I lost this one remote one time.
I can tell you, I use it to find things.
Yeah?
I do. And
Wow.
my kids, they laugh at me because, this one time we were running late. I had an appointment and the kids needed to get to school and I couldn't find the car keys, right? And I'm searching all over where are these car keys? And so I ripped the house apart. I'm frantic. I'm upset. And finally my son says, Mom, just go put yourself in a trance because he's seen me do it before. And I did. And it was literally under 2 minutes. I'm like, I know where they are.
Wow.
And they were on the top of the tire. I guess my hands were full and I just put my car key on the tire of my car. And
You're not going to drive away.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I forgot that I put them there and literally in just a matter of less than 2 minutes in trance, I was able to remember exactly where they were. So I use it quite often for that reason. It helps
Really?
me with my brain injury. This
Yeah?
has been such a wonderful tool to help me with pain, with memorization.
You're almost like one of these X-Men.
I wouldn't say an ex-man, but I could be an ex-woman.
Well, woman has man in it. And it's just just an
true.
add-on because it's
True.
better, right?
Yeah, well,
Just trying to get my...
we all have our
don't have to put my
masculine and
foot in my
feminine.
mouth.
Well, no, I could be an X-man or an R-man or...
All right, so you take some hypnosis and it starts to work for you.
Yes.
And you start to really see the benefits of it and you decide to get into this.
Yes, well, I've been off. I had to leave the school board, like I
Right.
said. My migraines just got so bad.
And artificial light everywhere in those places.
Yes, and I'm dealing with some violent kids as well. So
Yep,
with a
yep.
brain injury, you don't really need
No,
a
no.
chair upside the head. So
No,
that was a bit
absolutely.
of a concern. So I left the school board, and after that, it basically just after I started getting myself feeling better, I knew that I needed to move forward in life.
Right.
I couldn't go back to I can't go back to the school board being the environment, but I now know that hypnosis is an amazing environment for me.
Sounds it.
Yes.
You've really embraced it.
Absolutely. It's like I said, okay, so I've probably lost 85, 86 pounds. So it's helped with weight loss. I've quit
Right.
smoking. So it's helped with that. I've, like I said, it helps with pain control and it helps my children. So, like I said, my daughter and her sports performance and memory. So, helping before tests, studying for tests and stuff like that. You could
Right.
actually just put that information right into your subconscious, and when you want it for your test, it's right there.
Well, it's like the Matrix. Just plug it in your head.
Exactly.
All right, teach me kung fu. I know kung fu.
Well, anything's possible, I guess.
And now you're doing your own business.
Yeah, so like I said, I learned online, taught myself how to use all of these tools. I saw how it transformed my life.
Right.
So I learned online, and then I decided to pursue an actual school. And as I was doing my research as to what schools offer hypnosis, there was a few in Toronto. There was, one that was stage hypnosis, and that's not what I was looking for. However, I went to the Burlington Hypnosis Center because she was the only one offering clinical hours, so where you could actually go into a clinic and learn from what she's doing. So the hands-on
Right.
is what I really needed. So I'm going a lot further so that I can get that hands-on practical experience. So that was the best part of the training for me. I
So
think.
some of them are a bit of a fly-by-night.
Some of the trainings?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I think that's
Yeah.
in every industry.
And I think that's the problem is that it's not regulated. This is
Right.
not a regulated industry. So, but I can tell you that the program, that's why I chose the program that
It's
I
like
chose.
those psychics. Like they have a phone number to make an appointment. It's like, why do I need to make an appointment? You're a psychic.
You know I want to see
Right?
you.
You know you should have known I was coming.
Well, maybe.
But anyway, so you found a reputable
Yes.
school.
Yes. And
More like an institution than a school, you'd say?
yes, I would say more of a mentor that I could really, really learn from.
Right.
Somebody, again, I'm really happy that I chose her because I feel like her and I have a lot of similarities. We're really close in demographic. She's a mom. She knows how to juggle life and career and business and all of those things. It's just nice to be taught by somebody who is a master at what you want to be, but still can
Yeah.
relate to who you are.
I just saw your mom and you're looking at you now. You did. I'm like, yep, there she is. That's wild.
Well,
I've only been staring at you now for about 30 minutes. So
and only once, so that's not too bad, eh?
no.
Yeah, I got most of my dad in me, so. My mom is a go-getter.
Yeah.
I got that part of her, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
You did.
But yeah, I'm really excited now that I've met Robbie. She is mentoring me, so I've done all of my education. I'm now in a mentorship program, so she's helping me with all of everything that I need to get business startup. And like I was saying before, how it's an unregulated profession. So part of the problem is that some hypnotists maybe are not doing all of the components that I'm doing, and maybe they're just doing one or two of them.
How long has it been regulated for?
It's not regulated.
It's not regulated.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, it's not regulated.
No, yeah.
Is that because the governing bodies of medicine just don't believe it? Or is it?
It's just not regulated because
It's just not regulated.
well,
It doesn't make money for the big pharma companies.
Well, I think it's just because it's been around forever, like since humans have been around,
Right.
really. So it keeps getting pushed down
Right.
into the kind of the underground world. So, way back when Queen Elizabeth was having her first child, like they were using.
I've been watching The Crown too.
Okay, so this is like way back, Queen Elizabeth I.
Oh, that Elizabeth, pardon me.
So back when she had her first child, before she had her child, they believed that pain was good. They believed that pain built character, and
Right.
that you experience pain, and that was going to make you a better person.
Well, a sport to them was smashing each other with a sword when you had a tin can on your head, right?
Right. So
Exactly.
They endured pain, and
Yeah.
they embraced pain, and they they thought pain was a good thing.
Right.
So Queen Elizabeth had her first child, and she didn't maybe quite so much agree with the pain of
Right.
childbearing, and so that's when chloroform was actually built.
Really?
Yes. So Queen Elizabeth had her first child with chloroform, and passed her out, right?
Right.
And so after Queen Elizabeth had a child with chloroform, all the doctors wanted their hands on this concoction,
Right.
And so basically, all of a sudden, hypnosis was being used prior to this to help with pain, even though pain was supposed to be endured.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was, as soon as Queen Elizabeth found a medication.
So that was the first time anesthesia was used.
That's right.
Wow.
Yes.
I love
So
these.
the
I love
first-
little facts like that.
So the first form of anesthesia was
Right.
actually chloroform, and it was used by Queen Elizabeth. So
The first.
the first.
Right. The first.
That's right.
So, are you able to say you're a registered hypnotist then?
Yes. So once we complete our program, then there's an exam to write.
Right.
So it's additional to the program.
Are you allowed to hypnotize yourself for the exam for studying purposes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. You can study
Maybe
any
that's
way
the
you
actual
want to.
That's the actual test, how much you can cram into your brain.
Well,
right?
that's how I do teach my subconscious, and
Yeah.
that's how I've had to learn how to memorize certain things, is by teaching my subconscious, because with my brain, that fight and flight,
Right,
there's
right.
just a little bit of kerbuffle sometimes.
Yeah.
So if I can just teach the subconscious, I can bypass all of that, confusions or misfire or whatever, and then it's just right there. But yeah, there's an exam that you can write. There's a fee to write the exam, and once I pass the exam, then I now belong to the National Guild of Hypnotists. So that's a governing body.
Okay.
And that's the closest that you can get to regulation. So if you belong to this governing body, the National Guild of Hypnotists, then if somebody belongs to that, then you know that they're accredited.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you make me think I'm a frog for an hour, I can go complain to this guild?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's there to protect you.
That's refreshing to know.
Me. Yes. That's right.
All right. Have you figured out my phobia yet?
Frogs?
No, it's not frogs. I did actually. I made one slight hint at it, but I don't think you picked it up.
No, I haven't
No.
picked it up yet.
So, and I'm also a motorcycle rider too. I just don't ride as much, but I used to take my bike to the track and stuff. And so, like, all these crazy things are fine, but don't poke me with a needle. If you come at me with a needle, like fight or flight. Here we go.
Oh.
One time I worked at a
So
hospital.
I should have picked that up when I told you I get 30 needles, and I saw that cringe on your face.
Right? That, and when I mentioned about the Eastern medicine, I talked about the acupuncture.
Yes.
That was another hint at it.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had to get a TB test once because I worked at a hospital, and like I just cringed up. I told the girl, "Don't come near me, please. I don't want to hit you. I don't want to hit you." And I just freaked out, and they ended up doing an X-ray, which is apparently just as good, of my lungs. So I
Okay.
didn't have to do the little scratch test or whatever with the
Well,
needle.
that's good.
But like right after, like they're asking me, "Why are you so pale?" Like, and I ate like a whole pizza. I was just like, the adrenaline had kicked in, and it wasn't good.
Is that what you went to see the hypnotist for?
That's why I went for the hypnotherapist. So I thought I was being hypnotized to kick this needle thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my phobia.
All right. So, did she do a little test with you beforehand to see?
No. Sit down, listen to the story, keep your eyes closed. And
right.
she was talking about pulling a weed out and throwing it into some fire. I'm looking at her going, what are you talking about?
I'm not sure.
And I was, should have figured out something was up when the fire exit had a chain around it.
Well, we can do a little test in a moment to see how
Oh, yeah?
well you follow my instructions.
Oh, boy.
But first, just allow me to let you know the secrets of hypnosis.
The secrets.
So hypnosis was recommended as a field of study by the American Medical Association in the 1950s.
Okay.
So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Okay, you are the one doing it.
Really?
Yes, the teacher is just the guide. Okay, so I'm just here.
Oh, now I'm already scared now. Jeez.
So you've experienced hypnotic-like states many times in your life. So, for example, when you go to the movies, you get so into the plot that when it's funny, you laugh. Or
No, I'm the jerk going, hey, wait a minute. See, that item wasn't on the counter a second ago. Now it's back.
Okay. So when somebody gets needles on a movie, do you find yourself sweating?
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually you're responding to emotional suggestion.
Okay.
So like when you laugh at the movie, or when it's sad, you cry, or something scary happens and you feel your mood changing.
Right.
So that's you responding to emotional suggestion, and that's a hypnotic-like state.
Oh, really?
Or how about when you end up in your driveway and you're like, where did the last 8 blocks of the route? They just disappeared.
That's usually going to work.
Right.
Get to work and have my coffee. I'm like, oh, got to work. Okay. I hope no one died.
So we actually drive in trance a lot because we've been driving for so long. So what happens is when we start doing something new, it's just a new pathway in the brain. So it's just we have to really pay attention to what we're doing. But as we continue to do the same thing the same way over and over and over, it really strengthens those neuronic pathways in your brain, and then you're able to do that in a way that you don't really have to think about anymore. It just it comes from the subconscious. So that's why we drive a lot of times in a trance, is because we just know it so well that we just do it from our subconscious. So driving and just ending up in your driveway.
Okay. So is that how people drive in their sleep?
I hope people don't drive in their sleep.
No, but I've heard of sleepwalkers will get in a car and drive somewhere.
Well, there's different brain states, right?
Okay.
So
are we going into a whole new avenue of stuff that we don't want to go down that road today?
Yeah, well, we can go down that road today, but I was just going to say, so theta is theta brain state, the brainwave theta.
Theta.
Okay. So our conscious brain state is beta. Okay, so talking right now, we're in a beta brain state. Okay.
All right.
So when you're in this hypnosis-like state, like I was talking, like where you're in the movie and it's funny and you laugh, or you're just end up in your driveway and you're like, oh yeah, I was just sort of daydreaming a little bit. So that's a theta brain state.
Theta.
Theta.
TH.
ATA.
THATA. Theta. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So your sleeping brain state, right, is delta.
All right.
Right? So that, I guess, is why maybe some people can actually be in a delta brain state, but still have ability to move their physical functions.
Right.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't really explain that in a scientific way, but I do know that the different brain states are definitely relevant to how we behave. And you can do all kinds of things in a theta brain state, and I know that delta brain state, you can also do things as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad there's not going to be a test later. Or is there?
Yes, there is a test.
Oh,
Remember,
boy.
we were going to see how well you follow my instructions?
Yeah, but it's not the theta and the betas and the...
No. So like I was saying, yeah, I was just explaining to you So when you go to the movies and
Right.
when you end up in your driveway, and so you've actually experienced this
Okay.
this state of mind many times in your life. And when you do things that are just really relaxed and come from a natural place, it's typically you're in a hypnotic trance at that point. So there's nothing to be afraid of. We experience this type of state of mind a lot in our lives.
All right.
Okay, so go ahead. I'm just going to give you a little test here to see how well you listen.
All right. All right.
Are you ready? So go
Okay.
ahead, close your eyes.
All right. Hold on. Let me just have a shot again.
All right. I'm actually not going to hypnotize you. I'm just going to see how well you listen.
All right.
Are you a good listener?
No.
All right. So
I mean, what?
just close your eyes.
All right.
Okay, roll your eyeballs gently upwards. And as you do, relax your eyelids as much as you can. And as you relax your eyelids, soon they will become so relaxed that they will become heavy and stuck. Soon your eyelids will become so relaxed they will become heavy and stuck. Satisfy yourself of this sensation now. Nod your head yes when you notice this sensation. Good. Feel your eyes open easily now. Feel your eyes open easily now. Good job. That's all there was to it.
That's it?
Yeah, tells me that you listen well enough to use hypnosis as a tool.
All right.
Yeah, good job. You got it. You passed the test.
All right. Do I have to take that home and get my parents to sign it now?
Well, if you're under the age of 18.
I act like it some days.
No,
That's the simple test?
that's the simple test.
Now, yeah, when you said open your eyes, like it took me a second or two to like kind of like,
Yeah, I had to say it twice to you, didn't I?
yeah, it was just, I don't know.
You weren't a very good listener, but you were listening well enough. Let's say that. At least you
Okay.
got it on the second time around. As long as you do open your eyes.
Well, they felt a little sealed.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know. Maybe it's just my heavy eyeliner. I used too much eyeliner today.
you're silly.
Okay, so you think you might be able to,
Yeah, no, that tells me that you listen well enough to use
All right.
hypnosis as a tool. Yeah, it's really, you just have to be a really good listener. You just have to be willing to do what I tell you to do. And if you're willing to do what I tell you to do,
Right.
then we'll be able to get to the outcome that you want. So
Gotcha.
the idea and how we're talking about how hypnotherapy is different than hypnosis is, or like entertainment is, like I was saying, we use neurolinguistics programming, and that basically is just, how we think as humans, what motivates us, and how we make our decisions, and our character types and personality types. And so with that information, I can pick out somebody's personality and know quite quickly sort of some of the things that they do that helps them with that personality type, and some of the things they do that hurt them with that personality type. And we're able to come up with an outcome for them that they want. So that's basically the whole point of it, is an outcome that somebody wants, and we're going to help them achieve that outcome. We can actually take out things from the subconscious that don't serve us anymore, that we don't want in there anymore. A lot of times we have this program in there that has been written from when we were a child, right?
Right.
And maybe we don't, like you were saying with your fear of needles, I'm not sure, maybe you've had an experience of some kind that has led you to this place of fear of needles, right? And so we can explore where that comes from, and then we can take out any parts of that memory that you don't want, and we can replace it with something that you do want. So that's how that works.
all right.
Yeah.
So you could program me to actually tolerate spicy food?
I could. If you really wanted that.
Complete wimp. Oh, they laugh at me, but
Well, that's while their eyes are watering, right?
yeah.
Or maybe you're laughing at them too.
No, I don't know if that can help me.
But yeah,
So-
anything that you really want to change, we can change.
So, and now you're registered.
Yes.
The Guild approves of you,
Yes.
and you're in your own business now.
Yes. Yes,
So-
kawarthahypnosis.com.
.com.
And you can Google me now too.
You're Googleable.
I'm Googleable.
Most people don't want to be Googleable.
Well, I'm not most people, that's
No,
for sure.
you're not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I want to be found. I do want
Yeah.
to be found. And I've been, my passion in life has always been helping people. So working with kids for so many years, helping them with their disabilities or their learning challenges. I've just always been a really easy person to approach. So I help my family and my friends, my neighbors. That's what drives me, is helping people.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been sort of preparing for this career my entire life. I don't
know if you'd call it a career. I think for you, it's more of a career. More than a career, I should say.
Yeah.
It's beyond a career for you. It's more
This is just me.
It's like your destiny.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You're an X person.
X.
Yeah. You have to come up with your own superhero group.
All right. I like that.
All right. I'll be your sarcastic jerk.
Yeah, sarcastic.
I don't know what my superhero power will be other than running away from needles.
Well, I think that we can you like frogs.
How did that even come up? Oh, that was just...
Well, it's funny, I think, because I was handing out business cards the other day, and I had something compelled me to hand this girl my business card, and she was like, "Oh, thank you. I really needed this." And she said, "Do you help with phobias?" And I said, "Of course, hon. Yeah." And she said, "Oh, I have the strangest phobia." And she said, I'm afraid of frogs, and it's taking over my life. She said, where I live, there's there's frogs everywhere, and I'm afraid.
Wait, is she from Quebec?
Thankfully, no, because I don't know if she would ever want to go there.
I mean,
so I'm like, definitely call me. Like, I can understand how this is a challenge for you, 100%. So, she's yet to call me, but I'm hoping that she'll call me and I can help her with this fear of frogs, because I couldn't imagine, on a rainy day going on a hike. I guess I used to be afraid of snakes cutting my grass, so I guess maybe it's similar.
Yeah, I don't like snakes. I'm not afraid of them. I just don't like them.
Oh.
Something with no arms and legs should not be able to move that fast.
I'm only afraid of them when I'm cutting the grass.
Oh. I think you're afraid of hurting them.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, don't come at me with a python or anything. That's not going to be good.
You know my mom, right? So my mom has this extreme fear of snakes. And it was really bad when we were young. So whenever there was like a water snake would get in the boat, my mom would scream for my brother, right? She'd scream for him, "Kill it! Oh my gosh, help me, right?" And so my brother would have to take care of it. So as you said, my mom rides a Harley, and we were at the International Motorcycle Show, and they had these big, huge pythons there. And so one of my mom's friends, I was like, "Oh, I want to get my picture taken with these snakes," and I was like, "No way!" No. So her friend actually paid to take me over and get my picture taken with these boa constrictors wrapped around me, and I brought the picture over to show my mom, and I thought she was going to faint. Yeah. But I loved it. It was so exciting.
I think you just like freaking your mom out.
Well, that was part of it.
Yeah.
I was young. But yeah, no, I think that all fears come from a place, and they can be fixed.
Okay.
So, yeah. I look forward to helping you with yours, maybe when we get off air.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I won't hypnotize you while we're on air. But
no.
But when we're done, if you like.
Hypnotize half the viewers.
No, just make their eyes heavy.
Hypnotize them to only watch my show.
You only like Fletch Live.
That's right. All right, so what was your website again?
KawarthaHypnosis.com.
KawarthaHypnosis.com.
Yes. And as you mentioned earlier, I'm excited to start something really new in this area, and it's a golf enhancement program. So sports performance has been a big part of hypnosis through, hundreds of years. I know that NHL players, like you said, have used it. Many PGA golfers. There's lots of famous athletes, let's say, that have used hypnosis to get themselves into that zone and get themselves into
Right.
that place where they can act from a primal a way of reaction, right? So with that being said, we've developed a golf enhancement program to work one-on-one with professional golfers
Really?
to help them get into the zone. It's called Zing in Your Swing.
Zing in your swing.
Sing in your swing. That's right. So we developed a program, and it's 3 sessions long. And in between those sessions, you get one-on-one support to help teach yourself, because I'll be teaching them how to hypnotize themselves. Putting yourself in that trance is key to getting through really anything, obstacle or...
See, I'll be able to get in the trance, but then I won't be able to get myself out, and I'll be sitting there like a zombie.
Oh, yes, you will. Yeah, it's just as easy to come out as it is to go in, especially when you're doing it on your
I'll
own.
do it at work, and they'll be like, "What's he doing?" "Oh, he's in a trance. I don't know. I can't get him out."
No, you do when you want. And that's the wonderful thing about it is you can do it wherever, whenever. You don't need anything with you. You don't need tools. All you need is just yourself. So for the first part, there's recordings. So, I mean, maybe there are some tools to use to begin with. So there are some recordings and audio programs that teach you how to use this and help program the subconscious. The way that it works is first you listen to me, and then you listen to an automated program, and then you listen to me again. So there's different phases of the process that's designed to help them relax even more. Like I was saying, how my training is a lot more extensive than a lot of hypnotists, and a lot of hypnotists don't do it this way, where they have multiple stages. Some of them will just maybe put you on an automated program and maybe skip certain parts of it. My program is very, very detailed. Like I said, you listen to the hypnotist automated program, then you listen to me, and then we discuss all the feelings that you had throughout hypnosis, so that you can understand them, so that you can understand the different hypnotic phenomenon. So like your eyes feeling stuck,
Right.
or we could numb out parts of your body, or so then we discuss that afterwards as well, so that everybody is always feeling safe. They always know what to expect, and they always know that it's based on exactly what they want and nothing more and nothing less. Yeah.
Wow, very exciting. I'm still kind of skeptical, so we'll find out.
Well, that's okay.
All right. So maybe we should try it, and we'll have you on another show in the near future.
All right.
We'll see how it works.
I will have a follow-up.
Maybe we'll have to take a camera with me as I golf before and after.
I'm going to bring a nurse over. How does that sound?
It depends, male or female nurse. See how inclusive I am?
We'll give you some Botox injections.
Oh boy! Oh, that kind of nurse. Oh, nurse Ratchet. Nurse Ratchet's coming over.
We'll
with
give
the
you some needles.
Like, yes. I was like, isn't that for a horse?
Don't worry.
Jeez, why is it square?
By the time the nurse comes, you're gonna be
Oh, boy.
You're gonna be embracing needles.
And
You're
bring
gonna be
everything
like,
in.
Make my lips big.
No, bring hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, so I don't have to worry about it again, and I can go anywhere. Anyway,
F, G, and H too.
all of them, whatever, A to Z. I don't care. Make up some. That's one of the reasons too. Like, I wouldn't mind traveling certain places in the world, but I need an inoculation, and that pretty much cuts it off right there. Done.
So you must have had inoculation when you were young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a blood test a while ago, and they had to give me some sort of medication to kind of calm me down.
Okay.
It was funny. I was like, it's not working. I stood up, and I fell back down on my chair. I'm like, maybe it is.
Oh no.
But it's anyway.
A lot of people take that medication to go to the dentist.
Dentist, I'm fine with.
Okay.
In fact, when I was a kid, at one point for fillings, I didn't even get a freezing because I'm like, I know which needle or I know what drill it kind of hurts. It only lasts like 5 seconds, so let's get it over with. It was ridiculous.
So my daughter at one time also had a fear of needles.
Yeah.
And she had to get a tooth pulled.
Yeah.
And she actually was more afraid of needles than she was afraid of pain. So she decided to have a tooth pulled without any freezing. and crazy.
Wow.
Crazy, I know. So I'm really glad that I'm a hypnotist now, because she does not have a fear of needles, and she can get freezing now. So if I can make that work for her, who was so afraid that she would actually have a tooth pulled without freezing, we can do that for you, okay?
Well, maybe I'm just worried if I kick this fear of needles, then I'll become a heroin addict. It's the only thing keeping me off.
Well, then we'll have to do another session to make sure that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? This has been fantastic. I'm really happy to have hooked up with you again.
Yeah,
and
me
learned
too.
so
It's
much.
probably been, 30 years?
Probably more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've learned a ton. And
yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about this fresh new start for me.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at what hypnosis can do for people, and I'm looking to get my name out there. So thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on my show. And we'll see you again really soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.